Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime drama Gerald Mohr in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, going back 72 years to February 21st, 1950, and The Ladies' Night. And we thank you for tuning in on this Monday, definitely not Ladies' Night, the 21st day of February, 52nd day of the year, 313 days remaining until we get to 2022. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels published the Communist Manifesto on this date in 1848. The Oakland Daily Tribune published its first newspaper in 1874. The first telephone book issued in New Haven, Connecticut in 1878. In 1885, the newly completed Washington Monument dedicated, and the New Yorker magazine published its first issue in 1925. The initial flight of the first successful flying car, Waldo Waterman's Aeromobile. I wonder if Waldo Waterman's related to Willard Waterman. That would be interesting to know, but I'm not going to look it up. The League of Nations banned foreign national volunteers in the Spanish Civil War in 1937. In New York City, Edwin Land demonstrated the first instant camera in 1947, the Polaroid Land camera. And so if you're wondering why they were called land cameras, that's why. Edwin Land had a lot to do with it. NASCAR incorporated on this date in 1948. Winston Churchill's government abolishes identity cards in the UK in 1952 to set the people free. Francis Crick James D. Watson discovered the structure of the DNA molecule in 1953. Cuban leader Fidel Castro nationalized all businesses in Cuba in 1960, and it was on this date in 1965, Malcolm X assassinated at the Audubon Ballroom in New York City by members of the Nation of Islam.
Whites can help us, but they can't join us. There can be no black-white unity until there is first some black unity. We cannot think of being acceptable to others until we have first proven acceptable to ourselves.
And I think he knew what was coming. Malcolm X assassinated on this date in 1965 by members of the Nation of Islam. President Nixon visited the People's Republic of China on this date in 1972. The last Israeli soldiers left the West Bank of the Suez Canal in carrying out a truce with Egypt in 1974. Former Attorney General John N. Mitchell, former White House aides H.R. Haldeman, John Ehrlichman, sentenced to prison on this date in 1975 in connection with the Watergate scandal. Jimmy Swaggart on this date in 1988 confessed he was guilty of an unspecified sin and would leave the pulpit.
I have sinned against you, my Lord, and I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness.
Now, the Assemblies of God would defrock Swaggart, but after some time continued his ministries as an independent church. Steve Bossett landed in Leader, Saskatchewan on this date in 1995, becoming the first person to make a solo flight across the Pacific Ocean in a balloon. And it was on this date in 2000, David Letterman returned to The Late Show over a month after having emergency quintuple heart bypass surgery. Mayor Michael Bloomberg, on this date in 2006, unveiled a brand new sign on the corner of West 66th Street called Peter Jennings Way in honor of the late ABC News anchor Peter Jennings.
We'll walk down Peter Jennings Way, smile at the thought of an old friend, and then continue on. And I think somehow or other, that's the way Peter Jennings would have wanted it.
Among those passing away on this date in history, composer Morton Gould, religious broadcaster Eugene Scott, evangelist Billy Graham, and musician actor Peter Tork from the Monkees, and disc jockey Murray the K.
Hey, baby, audience, what's happening? This is Murray the K coming your way right here on your favorite spot on the dial and telling you that we've got all kinds of goodies tonight. Later on, we'll have the record review board contest, a little submarine race watching, and right now...
Murray the K, another one of those crazy disc jockeys. He passed away on this date back in 1982. This is the birth date of director Sam Peckinpah, actress Ann Sheridan, humorist Irma Bombeck, from Maude, Mama's Family, and Golden Girls, Rue McClanahan. He was Snape from Harry Potter, Alan Richmond, and race car driver Davey Allison. From 2001, the movie, Gary Lockwood, 85. Cagney and Lacey's Tyne Daly is 76. Also 76 is C-3PO from Star Wars, actor Anthony Daniels. Frasier's Kelsey Grammer. Oh my gosh, the mouth just ain't working today, 67. Passionate Kisses, Mary Chapin Carpenter, 64 years old. From Dynasty and Heroes, Jack Coleman is 64. Blue Lagoon's Christopher Atkins is 61. Billy Baldwin, 59. Mad TV's Nicole Parker is 44. Carlito from the WWE retired at 43. Actress Jennifer Love Hewitt is also 43 today. Key and Peele's Jordan Peele is 43. The lovely and talented, wonderful singer Charlotte Church, 36. From Twilight, Ashley Greene is 35. And Mrs. Joe Jonas, a new mom. Remember her from Game of Thrones, Sophie Turner, a new mom at 26. Those some of the people celebrating the 21st day of February as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Going back 72 years, February 21st, 1950, Gerald Mohr in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. On this Monday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
And thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Monday, an episode of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, starring Gerald Mohr as Marlowe, from February 21st, 1950.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gutter, the prison, or the grave. This time a peddler of pulp paper love, a blackmailer with muscles, a south-of-the-border chiseler, a simpering prude, and a corpse in a bedroom. All had one thing in common. Each was a woman. It happened like this.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Ladies' Night.
And the moment the sauce is boiling furiously, which is right now, add 1 full cup of tomato paste gradually and stir vigorously. Okay? 1 full cup of tomato paste. Oh, no, not now. I'll be a minute. Yeah, I said I'll be... Oh no. Ooh, ow. All right. So I add tomato paste, cup and all. Okay. Okay, I'm coming. Who is it?
Western Union, telegram for Philip Marlowe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you. Kay Vanneman.
Yes, darling, staunch friend Kay. Am I welcome? Me and my small Western Union Joe?
Oh, sure. Come on in. Come on in, honey. We'll go in the kitchen.
Oh, it's not Marlowe playing chef again. What is it this time?
Well, sauce a la Marino. What's on your poor little rich girl's 14-carat mind tonight?
You. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes. This is meeting night in my crowd. The Greens Committee at the Country Club, the Beverly Hills Male Choir, the veterans of this and that. So, no men left.
Oh, except staunch friend Marlowe, huh? Look, Kay, baby, just because I...
I know it by heart, Phil. Just because brave private detective once saved rich Uncle Enoch's niece, Kay, baby, from lots of trouble.
For which he was well paid.
There's no reason why they've got to go on seeing each other. Well, mister, you're wrong. There is a reason, a big fat one. I like you. Lots.
You do?
Especially on Tuesdays.
I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Now,
I'm
look.
not being too bold, am I? I did call, 3 times. You weren't home all day.
It didn't discourage you.
If I can't have you, I'll take the doorstep.
Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays. Now, about this sauce a la whatchamacallit, what do we do first? Fish out the cup or wait for it to melt?
Well, it all depends. If we want to, Hey, that thing sticking out of your pocket, real telegram or prop for gag?
Oh, no prop, real thing.
Oh?
I met the boy in front of your door. Here.
Open it up, will you? My hands are greasy.
So I noticed. Over there, self-reliant. It's called soap and water.
Oh. Well, read it, dear. Straight like, huh?
Okay, straight like. Tried to reach you all day. Very important. Meet me at the Tulip Room, Sunset Strip at 8 tonight. We'll pay
Tulip
you
Room.
triple your fee. Time means everything. Gigi Ormsby.
You know her? Give me the towel, will you?
Yeah, I think... Sure, she's the demon editor for Passman House.
Who published what?
Magazines, torrid love, great passions. You know, the shop girl's encyclopedia.
Well, now tell me, shop girl, where'd you meet editor Gigi Ormsby?
At a cocktail party about a year ago. She's quite a character. Sleek to look at.
And listen to?
Oh, someplace between a career woman and a Marine sergeant.
Credit good?
Excellent. Uncle Enoch once shook hands with her, and that's better than Dun & Bradstreet. Hey, where are you going?
The Don jacket and professional demeanor. Both are going to the Tulip Room.
Phil,
but you're not.
Phil, that's not fair. This is
And
Tuesday.
the sauce a la Marino needs 1 measuring cup removed. A delicate woman's touch from here on in. Bye-bye, Kay. You're a staunch friend indeed. The Tulip Room was one of those extra chic spots, curled up at the foot of the Hollywood Hills, where the velvet and the maitre d's tone of voice made you sure you had egg on your vest. But that plus the crew-cut glamour girls who lined the booths and shrilled darling, no matter what was said, made finding my prospective client that much easier. In severely tailored banker's gray flannel, she stood out among the neighboring naked shoulders like a wart on a cue ball, as did her voice, which once it had gone through the introductions, came right to the point.
Marlowe, my problem is simple. I want to find a woman in a hurry. Her name is Henrietta Lawrence. She's a good hack writer who disappeared, I know not why. Health.
Likewise.
Now, here it is. 1, 2, 3. A couple of weeks ago, Henrietta Lawrence showed up in my office from someplace like Seattle or Portland, I forget which, and handed me an outline for a 3-installment serial story that was excellent, according to our standards. 3 days ago, she brought in the first 2 installments, also excellent. But the day before yesterday, when the 3rd installment was due, I was sitting in my office window when this happened. She only got as far as the front door.
What happened?
I don't know. She saw somebody going by slowly in a car. Scared the daylights out of her, and she hobbled for a cab.
Wait a minute. Did you say hobbled?
Yes, she limps. Uses a cane. Anyway, she piled into this cab and took off. Haven't had a word from her since. I'm worried, Marlowe. She's a nervous thing, the kind who'd go to pieces, little ones fast. So I want you...
Gigi Ormsby, as I live and breathe this stale nightclub bed, darling, how are you?
Busy, Jeanette, busy.
So I see. And what's the handsome gentleman's name, or am I supposed to guess?
It's Dracula, darling. We're counting the white throats. Goodbye.
Oh, Gigi, you're priceless.
Goodbye, Jeanette. This is business strictly.
Well, I was only being friendly. Excuse me, darling. Happy business.
Oh, what they let loose after dark. Anyhow, Marlowe, I want you to find this girl. She may be in an awful jam. Now, what do you want to know?
Well, description might help, Gigi.
Okay. Henrietta's about 35 on the drab side, no makeup, no jewelry. Each time I saw her, she was wearing the same thing, a plain brown coat, a plainer brown hat, low heels. All in all, the sex appeal of a tumbleweed.
Mm-hmm. Last address you had on her?
It's the only one. The Brace Hotel for Women, room 7. It's over on Fountain near La Cienega. But she hasn't checked back there in 2 days either. The giggling flower of the old South desk clerk I talked to on the phone today hasn't the slightest idea where she is. But I figure for you, she might, Marlowe. She's probably got a face like wet hemp. Her name is Clarice.
Well, we'll try it. Where can I reach you, Gigi?
At my home in Brentwood. Sunnyside 9, 1011.
1011?
Yeah, I'll stay next to the phone. Really do your best, will you, Marlowe?
Okay, Gigi. It'll be my best, all right. Don't worry about it. I'll call you.
Good evening, Brace Hotel. Miss Violet Mohr? Oh, one moment, please. Go ahead. Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Are we alone? Is the switchboard closed?
Why, yeah.
Good. You see, I'm a private detective named Marlowe, Clarice.
A private detective? And you know my name.
Oh, we find things out.
Oh, how can poor little old me help you?
Well, it's about Henrietta Lawrence, the girl with the cane. She's in trouble, and I think it's a man.
So do I.
Who?
Well, I don't know.
You sure?
Positive. She was always so quiet, so mysterious. It was enough to make a body curious.
Oh.
So one night I followed her. She went to Annie Stringer's Hollywood Health Club. That's a ladies' Turkish bath over on Santa Monica Boulevard in Doheny.
Well, maybe she ducked in there because she knew you were following her.
Oh, no, I was very careful. Besides, she had something to say to a woman there. I know I saw him talking in the doorway when I went by. Couldn't see who it was, though.
No man, huh?
No. But I keep my eyes open when she comes back.
Oh, you do just that. Keep them wide open, Clarice. They're lovely eyes.
Oh.
Good night, honey. My client was wrong. Clarice did not have a face like wet hemp. It was more like a batch of biscuits, but the body curious had provided a lead. As far as the corner of Santa Monica and Doheny, and into the white antiseptic-looking reception room of Annie Stringer's Hollywood Health Club. Women only.
My husband said it.
There I forgot about Clarice, hemp, and biscuits alike and thought instead about something a whole lot tastier. Like the girl who was leaning on the corner of a desk marked information while she made pencil marks on a chart. She looked up when I closed the door and started toward me. But when another door in the room opened and a woman who was built like a sack of cement bore down on me, she turned back to her chart.
Yes, sir. I help you. I'm Annie Stringer. We don't have a men's section here, if that's what you wanted.
No, it was something else, Miss Stringer.
Annie'll do.
Oh.
Name's my stock and trade. Something else like what?
Henrietta Lawrence. I'm looking for her.
Who are you, mister? What's your name?
Philip Marlowe. I'm a friend of Henrietta's from Portland. They told me over at the Brace Hotel that Henrietta might be at your place. You see, someone had seen her come in here once.
Henrietta Lawrence, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, name doesn't mean anything to me, but...
Honey, Mrs. Gordon wants you to come be with her a while.
All right, Hilda, be right there. I, don't recall anyone by that name, Mr. Marlowe, but you might check with my receptionist there. Take care of the gentleman, will you, Mona, dear?
Very well, Annie.
I'm coming, Mrs. Gordon.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Marlowe, Mona, dear. Philip Marlowe.
Marlowe. Well, I don't recall any Henrietta Lawrence ever having been with us, but why don't we check the registration cards at my desk and be sure? I might be mistaken.
All right. She's a woman about 35. She wears no makeup and...
Never mind.
Huh?
I know her, amigo.
What?
Just listen. You see, Mr. Marlowe, the cards here list everyone who ever visits the club. Why do you really want Henrietta Lawrence?
Well, I'm a private detective with interested clients.
Who has money, amigo?
It could be. What's your connection here?
Receptionist. And good friend to Annie. Her, confidant, you might say.
All right, say it.
Meet me in the alley behind the hardware store across the street in a half hour. We close then. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Marlowe, but we don't seem to have any listing of a Henrietta Lawrence. But perhaps in the
No,
future...
never mind. Thanks just the same.
Well, you're quite welcome. Don't keep me waiting, amigo.
killed most of the 30-minute wait at an all-night beanery a block away where I drank bad coffee and listened to a special monologue from a waitress, which was worse. And at exactly 10:30, I stepped into the street and walked to the alley behind the hardware store. Moved cautiously toward the dark shadow of the building until a hand that gripped like a bear trap snapped shut on my upper arm, while another locked my wrist high into my back.
Move 1 inch, Mr. Marlowe, and I'll break it off and hand it to you. I was a lady wrestler, understand?
Oh, do I still call you Annie?
Never mind the wisecracks. It's been a long day and I haven't got patience. Now, what's your angle, Flatfoot?
This! Slip, baby, in more ways than one. Start talking.
All right. Henrietta came from Seattle, not Portland. So now some advice. Forget Henrietta Lawrence, Shamus. You can't do her any good.
You're a liar, Annie, and you know it.
Wasting your breath, Shamus.
That's bluff, Annie. Hot air.
Yeah? I suppose that goes for the letter, too, I suppose.
Letter? You slipped again, kid.
What about it? You don't know what letter I'm talking about. But Mr. Marlowe, Henrietta Lawrence does. So tell her to call off the bloodhound, or that letter will go right to the cops. They'll know exactly what to do.
From 72 years ago, February 21st, 1950, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Following these words from your favorite station, the news from 72 years ago today. The Overstock sale continues at MyPillow.com. Deep discounts on Giza Dream Sheets, MyPillow original pillows, the My Slippers, half price. I love mine. And with every order you make by going to MyPillow.com/radio specials, you'll get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. MyPillow.com/radio specials, promo code USA.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if, like a lot of people, you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. It's a Christian healthcare sharing program. There are more than 400,000 members now, and they love it. In fact, MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to that of health insurance. And MediShare really is the gold standard when it comes to healthcare sharing. It's been around more than 25 years. Members have shared more than $4 billion of each other's medical bills. Plus, MediShare is for you. It has saved its members billions by advocating on their behalf. Best of all, the typical savings for a family is around $6,000 a year. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and you are invited to be part of it. Call now. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station, an episode of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe as it was originally broadcast Tuesday, February 21st, 1950. In the newspapers of that Tuesday, 72 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Federal Judge Richard B. Keach yesterday hurled a criminal contempt of court citation at John L. Lewis's striking union for defying the court's order to dig coal. The United Mine Workers, which twice before has paid heavy fines for flouting a judge's command, must appear Friday and explain why 372,000 soft coal workers have refused since last Monday to obey. If the union's story doesn't satisfy the court, a trial will be held next Monday. Lewis himself not named in a government petition, which asked the court to take action against the union for civil and criminal contempt. The UMW chieftain has publicly called on his men twice to bow to the court's directive issued under the Taft-Hartley Labor Act. The federal government last night slashed its new European Recovery Fund request to $2.950 billion in the face of threats in Congress to cut it even deeper. The Economic Cooperation Administration announced the plan it will last for the third year of the Marshall Plan as it prepared to present its case to the Senate. President Truman's budget had carried a $3.1 billion figure for the 12 months beginning next July 1st. State Department officials said yesterday an announcement on the U.S.-Bulgarian diplomatic crisis may come within 24 hours. This intensified speculation that the U.S. is on the verge of severing diplomatic relations with Bulgaria, although the announcement could involve another exchange of notes or a final ultimatum on the communist-run Bulgarian government. 11 Mormon missionaries left Czechoslovakia last night in the first mass move by the Mormon Church to liquidate its American-directed activities there. The communist-led government ordered 2 of the missionaries expelled on the charge they constitute a danger to the safety and security of the state. In Hawthorne, California, a woman called police to say she had seen a man stuff a boy in the trunk of a car. She reported the license number, which was traced to Harry Scroggins. Confronted by police, Scroggins' lab produced the boy, 15-year-old Harry Jr. Jr. saying, "The car has a rear-end rattle. I thought I could ride back there and find it." Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Tuesday, February 21st, 1950, on your radio, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Get going, sweetie.
Okay.
Blow the top of your head off. Go on, beat it while you can still walk. Go.
All right. But I'll be around, Marlowe. So don't forget the message I gave you for Miss Lawrence.
In just a moment, the second act of Philip Marlowe. But first,
the conclusion of Philip Marlowe, February 21st, 1950, comes up next on this Monday edition of Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station.
Our U.S. Constitution is amazing. It's full of what's called negative rights, designed to protect us from the corrupt powers of a dictatorship.
Like our right to worship our own God, not some official state religion.
Our right to prevent the government from seizing our property without paying fair market value for it.
Or our right to be tried by a jury of our peers, people like us, not by some star tribunal.
And that's why America has become the richest, most just society in the world.
Other countries force so-called positive rights onto their citizens. These enable one group to take from another group their free speech, money, and choice by using government force. Socialists love wielding this power over people.
Sometimes we take our freedoms for granted, but we can lose our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and become like Venezuela or North Korea, failed, brutal socialist regimes.
We need your help to spread the good news about our amazing U.S. Constitution. Help us take back America. Go to ouramericanrights.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
On Tuesday's Classic Radio Theater, an episode of CBS's attempt to take on Dragnet. It was called The Lineup. From 71 years ago, February 22nd, 1951, the Silver Swan case. Edna Hawley, who works in the Silver Swan dance hall, has been strangled. The cops know who done it, but they have no proof. That'll be coming up on Tuesday's Classic Radio Theater, but now the conclusion of Gerald Mohr and the Adventures of Philip Marlowe, 72 years ago, February 21st, 1950.
Now with our star, Gerald Mohr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe, and tonight's story, The Ladies' Night.
watched Annie Stringer lumber out of sight down the alley. And she turned, tossed me an I told you so smile, and lit a cigarette for me.
Here. Well, I guess it's a good thing I chucked that scullery maid routine and followed you after all, wasn't it?
Look, I've already said thanks, so go ahead. Get real corny. Rub it in. Marlowe pinned by a woman.
That was no woman, Phil. It was the late gargantuous cousin.
Yeah, I was also outnumbered and surrounded. By the way, where's your gun, Kay?
I don't have any gun, just
What?
a lot of bluff. And curiosity about what you were doing out here in the alley with a creature like that.
I was taking a judo lesson.
By correspondence, maybe? What was all that about a letter?
Well, for my money, the way things stack up, Gigi Ormsby, top writer, one Henrietta Lawrence, is being blackmailed by Annie Stringer, and that letter is Annie's protection. Goes to the cops if anything. Kay, get out of sight, quick.
What? What's the matter? Marlowe, not another one.
Yeah, my date, Duck. Will you go on? It's important.
All right, but don't forget you're a sucker for a hammerlock, so watch it. Phil? Senor Marlowe?
Over here, Mona.
See, you are here. Are we alone?
Yeah, we're alone.
Good. It is worth my life what I'm going to tell you. And we like me alive, no?
Look, what is it, Mona? You know something about Henrietta Lawrence?
See, more than enough. There's a certain letter.
Oh, you know about that, huh?
Sure. I know where it is and what it says.
Bless you, baby. Where is it? I want that letter bad.
It's nice.
Nice?
See, and I would love to give it to you for nothing, but
But what?
my poor mother, she needs an operation. My father, the mortgage on the ranch.
Your little sister wants music lessons? Come on, kid. How much?
How much is the life of Henrietta Lawrence worth, Phil, dear? To me, to you, to Henrietta Lawrence.
Her life, huh? I'll see what I can do.
You better do real good, amigo. It's a very serious thing. I take a great risk. Annie Stringer is stupid, but she's also strong like a bull. Come to my apartment. 8310 North Ardmore, number D. 1 hour.
D, huh? Okay, I'll be there.
Good. And please, amigo, you don't hold hard feelings against me. Not for this. You know, business is business. Pleasure's pleasure, no? Maybe we can mix them. In an hour. I'll be waiting for you, Phil.
How do you like that?
It was as touching a little scene as I've ever witnessed.
Skip it, Kay. This deal is liable to get rough before it's over, and I've got a call to make. Let's go.
And I was dumb enough to warn you against the hammerlock. The hammerlock that kid holds is like a pat on the head. Can I go with you just for laughs?
Yeah. We're going to call on my client. You're scramming. Come on.
Hello.
Marlowe, Gigi, got a line on Henrietta, but you're not going to like it much.
What do you mean? How does it go, Marlowe?
Trouble is, she's got blackmail. I don't know what the hook is, but I have word of one of the bargainers is plenty serious.
Who's doing it, Phil?
A female mastodon named Annie Stringer's the big wheel. I got onto it through a letter.
A letter?
Yeah. Annie wrote her protection letter. It's got all the dirt in it and goes to the cops if anything happens to Annie. It's a standard routine.
Where is this letter? Who has it?
There's a double-crossing little Spanish number named Mona. I'm supposed to meet her again in an hour at her place.
Phil, we must get that letter.
Yeah, it's no cinch, Gigi. Mona's not bright, but she's sly. It's liable to be expensive.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anything I can do to help Henrietta, I want to do now more than ever.
What does that mean?
I've heard from her, Marlowe. She called me just a few minutes ago.
Where was she?
That's the tough part. She was crying, said it was the end of everything. She tried to tell me about the last installments of the story, then she was interrupted. She gasped out something that sounded like American Airlines ticket office. Then the line went dead. There are 3 of those offices in town.
Yeah. Well, we better check them. Look, can you take the one out in Beverly Hills? I'll get the others.
All right. And Marlowe, where does this Spanish dame live?
North Ardmore, 8310, apartment D.
I'll meet you there in an hour.
When Gigi hung up, I sent Kay to check the airline office in Hollywood for a woman carrying a cane and a big load of trouble, telling her to call me at the downtown agency within half an hour. Then I headed south for the office on 6th Street. Halfway down, it began to rain. You know, the kind of dismal, misty drizzle that makes your clothes smell like blankets at a fire sale? I spent a fruitless half hour peeking into corners and trading descriptions, and finally, when Kay called in a negative report from the Hollywood office, it was high time to beat it out to my appointment with Mona. The rain had put enough dazzling sheen on the pavement to make the going slow and slick. But I got out to 8310 Ardmore not over a minute late. Apartment D was the last on the right and completely dark. As As I walked toward it, I found myself following a set of feminine footprints rapidly filling with water. Besides each left print was a little round hole. By the time that registered on me, I was already at the door and could hear her crying inside. I didn't wait to knock. Mona, it's me, Marlowe. For Pete's sake, what happened to you?
Phil, that woman was here waiting for me in the dark. She had a big club. When I came in, she grabbed me and beat me with it.
It was a cane, not that it makes any difference now. Hey, your apartment's a rest. She got the letter, huh?
See, she got it, and look. Look at this awful
Later.
bruise.
Right now, I want to know what that letter said. You can forget about me paying the Mexican national debt for it. I want it free and fast. Come on, what's Annie got on Henrietta Lawrence?
Right, all right. She knows it.
What?
Somebody's outside there.
Oh, it's Gigi. Come on in, Gigi.
Hello, Phil. Who's this, the tortilla pounder you told me about?
Just a minute, you can't.
All right, hold it. Take it easy.
You're a lousy housekeeper, sister. What happened? Your hat dance get out of control?
Now, wait a minute. Henrietta scooped this Gigi. She was here and got the letter herself.
She what?
Yes. We were just talking about the letter when you came in. Now, let's get on with it, Mona. What's Big Annie's pitch?
Supposing I won't tell you now.
Then I'll have you in the pokey for attempted extortion before you can say Pancho Robinson beautiful. Come on.
Well, okay.
That's better.
For you, amigo, I tell. I don't know what Henrietta Lawrence means to this dragon here, but she's a murderer.
Well, you lying little tamale tosser. That's impossible. Henrietta's a fine girl.
You know what you're saying, Mona?
Sure I do. I read the letter, didn't I? Henrietta Lawrence killed a woman in Seattle 4 years ago. Annie saw her do it. She had names, dates, places, everything.
I can't believe it. I just can't. She's such a swell person. Look, she even left this, the final installment of the story, for me in that Wilshire ticket office. What'll we do, Phil? We gotta help her.
Okay. Since neither she nor Annie counted on Mona here reading the letter, the best way to help her is to try to keep her from committing another murder.
What, are you crazy? What are you talking about?
Come on, Gigi, get with it. The letter was worthless except as Annie Stringer's protection. Yet Henrietta went to all the trouble of getting it. Why? So she could shut Annie up, and there's only one way to do that.
Kill her. Holy mackerel, I didn't even think.
You should, Senora. You got nothing else to work with.
Drop dead.
Stop it, both of you.
Oh, crazy.
Better stay clear of it from here on, Gigi. Go home and wait for me.
Okay, Phil, whatever you say. Call me as soon as you can. will you?
Sure. All right, come on, Mona, let's go.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, no, amigo. The letter's gone, and so is Mona's interest. I'm very tired.
Now listen, you cut yourself in on this right up to your sombrero. You know Annie, so you may be able to help me. It's that or spend the night in the cooler. Add it up, sweetheart. Andale.
All right. You're so forceful, amigo. Come on, let's go.
Well, Annie's not in her apartment, and she's not around the health club. What's next, Mona? Where else would she be?
Search me, amigo.
Think, will you? Has she had any appointments lately that didn't fit with her regular routine?
Well, she went out on Fountain Avenue in a big hurry a couple of
Fountain
days.
Avenue. That's where Henrietta's been staying, in a hotel out there.
The Brace Hotel?
That's it, on the nose. Is Annie dumb enough to go there now tonight?
Sure. She's stupid. And her strength makes her reckless.
That's it, let's go. Come on, Mona, it's here on the first floor.
Hey there. Now, just one moment there. Where do you think you're... Oh, it's you again, Mr. Marlowe.
Yeah, it's me again,
So
Clarice.
You're
Now,
looking for that Miss Lawrence
Yeah.
at number 7?
Uh-huh.
Well, you're sure in luck, Mr. Marlowe. She's in now. She came back about a half hour ago with a friend, the biggest woman I ever saw.
Annie, it's true, amigo. You were right.
Yeah, come on, let's get back there.
Oh, Mr. Marlowe, you can't go back there. You're a man, and this hotel is for
Now
women
look, sis, you
only.
got a pass key there, haven't you? Come on, this entire night from start to finish has been for women only. Getting sick and tired of it, present company included. Now, where's number 7?
Phil, this is it right here.
Henrietta! Unlock it, Clarice, fast. Get back.
Annie. Dead. With a knife.
Yeah. Go ahead and scream, Clarice. Get it over with.
Oh, well, where's Miss Lawrence?
She no doubt left by the window here. Yeah, it's still open. Only 5 feet to the ground and a clear set of footprints in the wet dirt, cane marks and all, just like...
Just like what, Mr. Marlowe?
I started to say like the ones I saw earlier. Sure, the last installment of the story, the letter at Mona's, the airline ticket. Now she's out of it, slick as a whistle. Clarice, call the cops. Here, give them my card. I'll get in touch.
Where you going, Mr. Marlowe?
To break the unpleasant news as gently as possible to my client.
Phil, what about me? What will I do now?
Just keep looking at Annie, you beautiful, chiseling, double-crossing jerk. Maybe you'll learn something, but I'm not going to count on it.
Phil.
Gigi had a lot of lights on in a glossy Brentwood house. And as I walked up the wet, curving flagstones to a door, I could see her inside, pacing slowly back and forth, an impatient cigarette in one hand, a stiff brace of brandy in the other. Whatever Gigi Ormsby really thought or felt about Henrietta Lawrence then, I couldn't tell. But I was sure that before I left, she was going to despise her.
Phil, I've been waiting for you to phone me. Something bad, isn't it? I can see it in your face.
We found Annie Stringer's body, Gigi, in Henrietta's hotel room.
Ah, what a dirty, dirty shame. And Henrietta?
Gone. But she won't get far, not this time. The circle gets smaller every time. She can't keep on killing. It's got to stop someplace.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I'm sorry for her, Phil. I hope she got a plane ticket tonight and is miles away by morning. I hope she gets a break this time.
She didn't buy a ticket. She's not even running. And she won't get that break.
You talk as if you know where she is, do you?
Mm-hmm. You've been to Seattle, haven't you, Gigi?
Well, of course, but not for years.
You lived there. You were a writer before you became a publisher.
Why? What is this?
You knew Annie Stringer long before tonight, too, Gigi, huh?
What are you driving at, Marlowe?
That your real name is Henrietta Lawrence, that you killed a woman in Seattle once, changed your name, and got away, but there was a witness. And a couple of weeks ago, purely by chance, that witness, Annie Stringer, ran into you, recognized you as Henrietta, and grabbed at the chance for blackmail.
Stop it, Marlowe.
So you had to bring Henrietta Lawrence back to life, just long enough to get rid of the witness. But first you had to get a letter she'd written, and also have someone who tell a straight story to the cops. So you hired me, planted the right leads along the way. Get away from that desk! Don't try it, Gigi. You can't win, so at least lose gracefully, will you?
If this was in one of my books, no one would believe it. You're right, I can't win. It's all true, Phil. Where was the loophole?
It started only as a hunch, but everything fit. I got it from the cane you used, Gigi, at Mona's place. The cane marks were on the left side of your tracks, but outside the hotel window, they were on the right. Anybody who really has to use a cane couldn't do that.
Such a little thing.
As a matter of fact, it was.
Look, Marlowe, you're the only person between me and that break. I got more money than I know what to do with. I can bid high, really high. You wouldn't be for sale, would you?
No, baby. Just for hire. Get your coat, Gigi. We're going down to headquarters. Getting the whole business down on police stationery, one orderly step at a time, was a process as full of, well, as full as the fiscal report of the First National Bank. Took twice as long to whip up. But finally it was all over. I was on my way home to my bachelor apartment. And then I remembered something.
Never mind explaining what took you so long, darling. You're here now. Dinner is ready and waiting, and the martinis are ice cold. Just come on in and close the door.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, bringing you Raymond Chandler's most famous character, star Gerald Mohr, are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and are written for radio by Robert Mitchell and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Jeanette Nolan, G.B. Hunter, Constance Crowder, Lillian Baeff, Gene Bates, and Michael Ann Barrett. The special music is composed and conducted by Richard Orant.
From 72 years ago, February 21st, 1950, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every Monday we roll around here. Also, please visit my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting, get all of our social media links, and even contact me directly. That's classicradio.stream. If you miss a day, you do not have to miss a single show. Our shows are available through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible, and a bunch of other places. All you have to do is search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, the name is important. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, except no substitutes. I'm Wyatt Cox, and thank you for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.